Christina Universe Citizen presents Part 2, Episode 93, July 30th, 2022. We are designed to figure it out. Continued from Part 1, Episode 93. Wherever the algorithm superficially supersedes this inherent ability, the subjective to objective experiential experimental proclivities are supplanted by algorithmic predictions. The algorithmic predictions are of three-dimensional structures and shapes. Such images accumulate on the internet and social media platforms as two-dimensional visualization. Overall, communication devices omit geodesic models by the permission from the education authorities to ignore nature's conceptuality that is independent of visibility or invisibility. But logically, if humans can conceptualize the transformation and intertransformation of energy events, referentially to nature's energy synergy, what would be the purpose of our evolution design and principle to not do so? Besides, our evolution design is coded as the DNA that is unique to every individual human entity. We can wonder from where in universe such a complex database initiated. It's designing, corresponding to every inanimate atom for producing us, complex beings. Surely, the eternal omniscient minds, design teams of highly evolved beings must have contributed their artistic scientific genius to result in all the species that exist on planet Earth. Were those designs beamed here as experiments that must be monitored from there, wherever there is? But what humans are curious about in order to evolve as a highly intelligent species by design in generalized principles would have to be discovered during the subjective to objective observation and articulations correlative to survival of life-sustaining awareness of self and otherness in a universe of non-intercontradictory generalized principles. Those experiences and experiments comprise the reenacting articulations of the residual inaccuracies and tolerance magnitudes of observation and or articulation. Of course, humans who came to pass, not to stay, before our lifetime did not know of, nor had similar experiences to the computer technologies we are experiencing and are influenced by today. Instinctually, humans have had to survive every natural and unnatural challenge. Now, we are in the process of surviving the ambitions of computer technology with our individually unique cerebral circuits in our brain as our uniquely personal individual human computer. It would be unwise to consciously and conceptually forsake this integral, cerebrally equipped uniqueness by one's own brain's computer. It belongs to one's uniquely individual mind as systemic thought begins to recognize geometric systemic models. But we have yet to comprehend the only two possible covariables that are operatives in all universe design, which is modification of angle and frequency. Mostly, we remain ignorant of angles and frequencies, and yet someday this will not be the case. Correlation to systemic thought and anticipatory design science realities require assemblies of triangles correlating to closest packing equiradius spheres. We can also say uniradius spheres. Synergetics 501.05. In quotes, all conceptuality is systemic. Synergetics 501.06. It has to have both frequency and angle. Since the angle part has to do with the circuitry design, logically, our individual brain's cerebral circuitry design is essential for eventually figuring out how to communicate in terms of frequency, correlative to the geometry of thinking. Planet U is a metaphysical complementarity of planet Earth. Planet Earth's physical frequencies mainly identify it as a 10,000 frequency geodesic sphere. Its wholly, WHOLLY, clarifying intricate angles may turn out to be the essential context as structural model to which a true democracy evidences the most economical way systems behave relative to unity and self in universe. By comparison, the world's various quasi-democracies and all totalitarian forms of government fail to manifest self-regenerating stability and conscious evolution awareness of the symmetrical, omnisymmetrical, and asymmetrical differentiation proclivities. How then can our individual systemic thought omni-rationally contribute to anticipatory realities? A true democracy's governing integrity on planet U initiates mensural unity by recognizing planet Earth's 10,000 frequency geodesic. It is but one of many omni-rationally holistic clarifications integrally to consciousness evolution of our intelligent species, humans, of the eternal, omniscient mind, Eom. In relative ignorance, as it now stands, we coexist in a one-ocean world, situated on or somewhere in an approximation to its 7 continents. As we observe the various maps of the world, clearly planet Earth is a one-ocean world with 50 seas. Obviously, there is more. See the link at the end of the video podcast to view those maps. Obviously, there is always more to learn and to figure it out. For the first time in recorded history, planet use, consciously omnirational humanity needs no longer to be ignorantly constrained by the PRJWBCS, politics, religion, justice, war, belief complex schemes. Those schemes perpetrate illogical divisions, subjecting humans on planet Earth to multiplication by addition. It adds more redundance with each new generation. The newly born generations, as we can observe now in 2022, emulate each other's popularized adaptations to cultivated ignorance in a comparative, mindless reality basis. The contemporary generation reveres illogical thought action and thought languages, self-other perpetuating slave mentality conditioning, confusing symbolic artifacts from not yet evolved cultivation that demonstrates tribalism of belonging. It identifies emulative behaviors that signify illogical self-other admiration that further adapts to the aberrant manifest form. See Netflix documentary The Most Hated Man on the Internet for examples of this aberrant behavior. The aberrant forms tend to reinforce the slave mentality conditioning that thrives on reactionary nonsense, wherever the various adapted to parts increase imperviousness to the whole, WHOLE, from which integral, intrinsic, holistic values conceptually derive. Holistic values emphasize the organic relationships that perhaps can be generalized to an absolute accommodation network of energy articulation, AAA-NOEA, Synergetics 201.11. To be continued in Part 3. Thank you.